He doesn't shout, he doesn't hit you, he doesn't even have to raise his voice. But somehow, every conversation leaves you exhausted. You came to discuss one problem, and somehow you're leaving the conversation questioning yourself, apologizing, or wondering why you even brought it up. When did your relationship become a battle you never agreed to fight? Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to Real Talk with Mimi Show. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't always look like abuse from the outside. Sometimes it's a relationship that has quietly turned into a psychological battle. You bring up something that hurt you. Instead of discussing it, the conversation gets redirected. You ask a simple question, suddenly you're being accused of being controlling. You set a boundary, now you're difficult. You don't respond immediately, now you're punishing them. You explain yourself, they pick apart your explanation, so you explain it again and again, until you're exhausted. And that's the problem. You're no longer trying to solve the issue. You're trying to prove that you deserve to have an issue. A healthy disagreement should allow two people to say, I don't see it the same way, but I understand why you feel that way. It shouldn't feel like a courtroom where somebody has to win and somebody has to surrender. And here's something I talk about enough. Sometimes the damage isn't one enormous incident. It's the accumulation, the constant dismissing, the silent treatment, the twisting of conversations, the threats of leaving whenever you disagree, the constant need to defend your intentions, the feeling that you're walking on eggshells because you already know how the conversation will end. And eventually you become tired of talking, not because you've stopped caring, but because you've realized that every conversation costs you something. So what do? First, stop trying to win every conversation. State your concern clearly, state your boundary, then watch what they do with it. Second, don't abandon your boundary simply because someone becomes uncomfortable with it. And third, pay attention to how you feel in the relationship, not just how the relationship looks from the outside. Because a beautiful relationship can still be a painful place to live. And if you are afraid of your partner being controlled, threatened, isolated, or made to feel unsafe, don't try to handle that alone. Get support. You don't have to wait until someone hits you before you take harmful behavior seriously. A relationship shouldn't require you to become a detective, a lawyer, and a peacekeeper just to be heard. Love isn't supposed to be a competition. You shouldn't have to constantly calculate your words, defend your intentions, or fight for the right to be heard. If every disagreement becomes a battle, eventually you have to ask yourself, are we actually building a relationship or are we just trying to defeat each other? And if you're the only one trying to change the pattern, that's a conversation worth having with yourself. Protect your peace, know your worth, and keep growing. This is Real Talk with Mimi Show. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!